Hey guys, it's me Ryan. Welcome to another Blender tutorial here on Active TV, and so we are continuing in our series with making our tile wall and our mortar. So we've already made our tile wall and we've already perfected some of the mortar. We even duplicated that in a group, and guess what we did? We then could apply the tile onto either way. So today we're going to continue. We're going to work a bit on the tile. We're going to remove a few things, add a few things, adjust a few things, and we're going to make this thing proper. Alright, are you guys ready for this? Alright, here we go. So, if you remember where we left off last week, we show a quick render here. This is where we left off. Of course, you could plug in the tile texture, the noise texture that we created, and you would get that look on the tile. Look how cool that looks already. Pretty realistic. Or you could take the same thing and on the mortar and plug that into my bump mapping, and then you'll get that same thing on the mortar. So what we're going to basically do today is we're going to perfect this tile texture right over here. I'm going to click tab, and tab is going to open up this group. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we don't need this noise texture, so I'm gonna delete it. Alright, X for deleting, and we don't need the texture coordinate, so X to delete. Now you'll see that we've got so we've deleted the noise and the texture nodes over there, and then you've got these unnecessary inputs over here. So yes, we're going to delete those as well. So noise detail. And just press the minus there, noise roughness, remove that, noise distortion, remove that one over there, and my noise scale, let's get rid of that. Alright, we're going to need this bias, so I'm going to plug that straight into there. Alright, the other thing that I also want to make an adjustment is my color, so I'm going to plug the color in there. Now let me show you something cool we can do with the groups, with the input. This color over here, so over here, right, if you don't have it, press N, right, I'm able to do something pretty cool. So I'm going to take that color and I can bump it up over there, and I'm going to do the same to my color 2. I'm going to take that 2 over there, also just bump it up next to color 1. I'm also going to name it, so let's say tile color 1 and tile color 2. Alright, then also what I'm going to do is my mortar. So this guy here, mortar, I'm going to move it down. I don't think it's too much important, but that literally is your mortar, which relates to basically, still your mortar within the brick texture, and because we're using the color, it still applies there. So I'm not really going to remove that, so I'm actually literally just gonna call that mortar color. Okay, the other thing then, alright, and then what I'm going to do is this multiply over here, I'm going to remove it, and you're going to see exactly why I'm going to remove it. Right, so I'm on the right track here correctly. I don't need this, but instead what I'm going to do is so remove the multiply, and then I'm going to instead use something under the converter called RGB to black and white. Alright, cool. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this guy, maybe let's put him in over here, and I can select this guy and I can say that guy over there, let's rename him to factor, because that's basically your factor. That's basically your factor right there. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is we want to combine these two together. Okay, but something to take note of here that is quite very specific is that out of both of these sides, right, so if let's say, okay, let's plug this color into here. All right, but now out of both of these, the value, all right, which is basically my let me show you here. Basically, in my value is my factor, and on the side, that same factor is my black and white, but it's inverted, right? Because what you're working with is now, if I want to add both of these in together, right? Because I'm working with the black and white. If you add white and white together, you're gonna get clipping, right? If you add black and black, that's it, one and one. If you do the math, it's not gonna work out. So the best way to do this, and this is something pretty cool that that you can learn, is we're going to use something called a map range. Right, just stick with me here. All right, so Shift A. Right now it's called map range. There it is. Now what this does is that let me take my factor, I'm going to plug that into value. Now if you look at this, we've got a from, there you go. We've got a from and a from minimal and a from maximum. So the value that we're actually getting here, now remember that my factor, what's coming out of here is a black and white image, and what is white is transparent. Right, what is white is transparent. Give me a second here. Let me just show you. There you go. So what is white is what I'm going to affect, and what is black is what I'm not going to affect. And if you look at this side, it's the opposite side around. So because this is the tile, all right, this is the mortar texture, which is the in between. And if I look at the opposite side here, let's see, just zoom out here. If I look at the opposite side, what's white, which is the tile, is what you're working on, not transparent, opaque, and what is black you're going to ignore. Now you got to put the two together, and you're going to combine into one image, especially for the bump mapping here, because yeah, that's going to help with the bump mapping. It's going to pull out the tile a lot more. It's going to make it look a lot more 3D. So right, plug my color back into there. So we're going to use the range selector to sort of get half from here and half from here, combine it together with a math node. So here we go. So I'm going to plug the value, which is actually your factor, into here. Now I'm going to leave this the same because my minimal is 0 and my max, and I'm going to remap it. Minimal will be 0 and max will be 0.5, so that's half of it. Okay, very good. Then I'm going to duplicate this guy because I've got to do the same with this side. So my factor will go into there. That's already set up. Very cool, very happy with that. Let's put that side. Okay, right, and now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a math node to combine the two together. Right, so I add in a math node, plug in this guy into here, plug in this dude over here into there. All right, and so what this is going to help me with is my bump mapping. All right, cool. What I want to do here now is that I don't want to take the color from there. I want to take the color from here because it's my tiling, and I'm going to show you now exactly why. Because we can adjust some cool colors, we can adjust some very nice stuff here with the tile. Now looking right at the tile over here, you can already see how nice this is actually looking. All right, so first of all, I can change my tile color. That's why we added these two. So now what I can do is that I'm able to change the color. So let's say I make this just that slight bit blue in there. I can add a bit of a blueness. See how to the tiles, just by throwing in a bit of blue there, I can change those colors. Now this mortar size over here, which I didn't actually change the name, I needed to change it. So let's say I say not mortar size, but I say, sorry, tile edge size. Okay. And same with my Mortar smooth. Forgive me. I need to make this tile smooth. Brilliant. Okay, cool. So let's say I want to adjust this, and I want to go 0.025. Oopsie daisy. Okay, let's try that again. So frame selected. Don't want to zoom too much in. Just want to get a bit more in there. All right, and now you can see just by adjusting the edge size, you can actually see how there's that fine little edge that I've created on the side there. Why? Because the tile brick texture, I've actually made it slightly smaller, so it's pulled in. All right. The mortar and the tile texture, the mats, were aligned with each other, so that's why the tile would only affect so much, and the mortar would only affect, it would have its own border. But I've pulled in a bit of the border of the tile, and that's why you've got that. All right, so let's change the smoothness to 0.4, and you can see how the edge, I don't know if you can see this, but that edge is looking slightly smoother. It's looking like a lot more cooler. All right, a lot more cooler. For me, a lot more realistic. A bit of a smooth edge there, and at the same time I brought it in a little bit. For me, this is looking like a lot better. All right, so there you can see just with this simple setup how you can do some cool bathroom tiles. You can make adjustments to each one of these sides. So in other words, your mortar texture and how I've set up my tile texture, and then how I've combined them together. Combine them together using the map range. The map range is very important because, like I said, because you've got a pure white coming from this side and a pure white coming from that side, that is on the bumpiness. You've got to sort of half it from each, from basically half it from your tile, half from your mortar. And yeah, that's basically how you. Okay, so let me just kill that quickly. That might even change a few things. And there you go. So looking at my tile, nice hard edge, slight bit of that softness there. I mean, you can adjust this. Let me show you. So if I bring my smoothness, in fact not necessarily my smoothness, let's say I bring in my edge size quite a bit. Look at that. I mean, this is actually pretty crazy. It's 0.025. You can see what it's doing on the edge there. Alright, pretty interesting. Lots of stuff that you can do with it. If you wanted to leave on the noise tile texture over there, yeah, it's up to you. Totally up to you. Whatever you want to do. I mean, to do that, you can just go in here. You can add that noise texture in like we had it before. Alright. And yeah, so there you go. I think this is looking pretty cool. We're not quite done. We're just going to finalize one or two things. But yeah, I hope that has blessed you as much as what it's blessed me. Guys, I know you like this video, so hit the like button and also share this out and go check out on all the other videos that we have within our playlist. We have tons of other videos, other shows, other tutorials, whether you want to learn how to play guitar, piano, you want to learn how to play guitar, piano, there's a whole lot of other stuff, but go check it out. Don't take my word for it. There's also other like reality shows. There's a whole lot of stuff that other people have contributed to this channel. Go check it out, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video where we finalize off what we're doing here. See you then. Cheers.